Okay, hello everybody. Welcome back to Cm42TV. We're here on the channel. Welcome. This is a sort of late night impromptu video. Not that that matters, not that you need to know that. Just these things come into my head and I have to say them. It's just, there's no thought process there anymore. They just come into my head and they come out of my mouth. There's a wee Italian accent there for you international viewers. Please don't be offended. This is just like, I don't know. I felt as if I had to say something about this right here. Just finished watching this, right? Avengers Infinity War, in preparation for going to see Endgame at the end of the week. And I say that, I mean Friday. End of the week, start of the weekend, Friday night. Friday night is the day that I'm going to be going to see Avengers Endgame. I believe it comes out midnight Wednesday night into Thursday morning. Could be wrong, could be tomorrow, can't remember. But I know it comes out this week anyway, and I'm going Friday. Just in terms of the way timetable kind of added up and stuff, that was the soonest time that I could get to see this film. And all throughout my life as a film fan and stuff, and since these Avengers films have kind of been released since 2008, I suppose, when Iron Man first came out back in 2008, it's not as if the Avengers films back then were particularly big in my life, but as they'd gone on and as I had sort of grown up as a film fan and, you know, grown up with these films essentially, going to see them in the cinema and waiting for the release date and watching the trailers and having all the speculation and talking about them on the podcast and stuff, it just creates this big buzz, doesn't it, for all these films. It's so funny how such a almost silly comic book style franchise can just get so big to literally become the biggest thing in the world. It's kind of like Star Wars, you know, I'm always biased towards Star Wars. Whenever Star Wars comes out, it just kind of takes over the world, and as Star Wars kind of went in three separate generations, didn't it? You had back in the 70s and the 80s, then you had it in the sort of early 2000s, and then we had them nowadays, the sort of three generations of Star Wars. Whereas the Avengers films in the Marvel Cinematic Universe sort of period has just been going on since 2008, and it's been constant up to this point, you know, so it's just been unbelievable. 22 films, I believe, 22 or 23 films, I think it's the 23rd film, Endgame, that's coming out. So in terms of giving predictions for what I think is going to happen, without spoiling anything, in case you've not read or anything or seen anything about the future, I don't think everybody who disappears, disintegrates at the end of Infinity War will be gone forever, but I also don't think everybody will come back. I haven't read anything, all I've seen are the trailers and reacted to them here on the channel, or at least one of them. And I just know about, you know, like films that are coming out in the future and stuff, and I just kind of know the bog standard of what everybody else kind of is supposed to know going into this film. So I haven't looked at any theories or any sort of speculation or whatever. It's just kind of my thoughts. But enough about Endgame. This is Infinity War that we just finished watching, which, you know, in preparation for going to see Endgame. And you know, when this film came out back in April of 2018, we did the episode of the podcast. It's on YouTube and Spotify and iTunes now. I think it was episode 39. I remember that because it was the one before 40. Episode 39 is actually one of my favourite podcasts we've done because it was literally right after I'd seen the film. I think it was the next day or something. Since I'd seen the film that we were recording it, and we were at an audition in the morning, an acting audition, and then after the audition we went straight to good bit of studios to do the podcast. And I remember thinking I should be focusing on this edition, but I'm not. I'm thinking about the podcast. And it's one of my favourite episodes, and we stream live on YouTube and stuff. And I just don't think when you see a film this size and this special and this important that it really sinks in straight after you watch it. I personally don't think that anyway. And I also don't tend to judge any film after you see it for the first time. I just don't think it's very fair, because you're literally going in, you know, hoping, I guess, if you strip everything back and you think about the bare bones of watching a film, you're essentially going in hoping it's good, you know? So that's one part of your mind. You think, oh, I hope this is good. Then you're thinking, you're trying to pick up with the story, and you're trying to figure out what's happening, and you're trying to predict the ending, and you're kind of noticing things you like about the characters and the actors and the filmmaking, so to speak, the cinematography, the music's good there. You're kind of thinking about all these things, and it kind of takes away, I think, from just the whole experience of watching the film. That's why I like seeing films for the first time in the cinema, because it's the best chance you've got, you know, to fully take in the film. So I've gotten really good at kind of like judging films on the second or maybe third time that I've watched the film, you know. It's just better that way, and it's just more fair, I think. Now, I'm not saying that like watching Avengers Infinity War and it's not fair on the Russo brothers that you've got to see at the cinema. That's not what I'm saying. It's just such a big film. You know, it's 2.5 hours long and there's so much going on, and it's literally the build up of all these films from the past however many years. 10 years essentially, before this one came out in 2018. So that's a big deal, and you can't process everything, you can't really think about everything. It's quite much to some people. I don't know, maybe it's me just being slow, I don't know. But this is my second time watching it. And maybe I should have watched it more. I had no, I'm not watching that again. It's just not. It wasn't that I was thinking about. It was just, I never did get round to it again. But I'm so happy I did before going to see Endgame, because not that I would be confused, but there is just so much you need to kind of remember. But watching it for the second time now, you kind of you just appreciate the absolute spectacle and the absolute achievement in cinema and in filmmaking in general as a genre. Just this film is, because although the culmination of the story, I suppose, is happening on Friday for me for Endgame, this sets up, this is, the 10 years in the making, all the films leading to this, the big battles, will this happen, all the characters sort of interacting for the first time, when the Guardians meet Iron Man and all that stuff. It's just in Thor. It's hilarious, and at the time, again, it's just so much, it's like trying to take it in, you're just kind of blown away by it, and you're kind of shook by it, and it's a weird sort of experience watching it for the first time. And then when you watch it again, you can kind of I can sink in a bit more, and you can understand it, and you know it's coming, so you kind of you're more aware, and you're looking out for it more. So that makes me think I'm going to want to see it, Endgame a couple of times. I might think about seeing it. I'm going to see it normally on Friday, but then hopefully maybe try and catch it 4DX or something. That'd be cool. Because I've heard that when you go to see an Avengers film in 4DX and Wakanda is there, Wakanda smells lovely. So I hope they're going, taking the sights and smells of Wakanda if I can. It's just an unbelievable spectacle, this film, Infinity War. It's just one of those ones where you have to see it to believe it, because it is unbelievable when you're watching it. If you know the characters and if you know the stories and you know the sort of ins and outs, it makes it that much sweeter. And it's just unbelievable to think that someone or a certain amount of people, a board of people, have come together and they've put this stuff together. And they've made one story link into another story, and this joke leads into this other joke, and the humour's still there and the music's still there, and it's just everything comes together from all these films from back in 2008 with the first Iron Man, through all the Thors and the Captain Americas and Black Panther and now Captain Marvel and now Spider-Man. It's just unbelievable. It's kind of hard to totally register, and that's why I would recommend, if you've not done it yet, I'd recommend rewatching Infinity War before you see it in game, because I think it's massively helped me. Just because, as I say, I'm not totally clued up on everything, but as you watch the films, you become more and more invested, because it becomes part of your life. These films, it's like a TV series. It's like a 10-year TV series. Just it never ends. It's going on. You're becoming related to the characters. You become accustomed to liking certain people. It's an unbelievable experience, and I can't wait for Endgame on Friday. It's going to be an absolute roller coaster. It's going to be another spectacle that you're going to have to see to believe. And yeah, that's all. I just kind of felt as if I had to make a couple of comments about this film. How much I feel like not only does it got, I know it's only out a year. People, it's not like being overshadowed yet, but people are just waiting for Endgame now. You have to understand and just appreciate the magnitude and the speciality of this film. It is so it's just a masterpiece. It's one of a kind, and will we ever see this again? When something's been built up so much, it's very special. You don't get it every day, so we have to enjoy it whilst we've got it. It's the same as, again, Star Wars at the end of the year. We have to enjoy this and appreciate it while it's here, because we may never get something as special like this again, or at least for a long time. So yeah, enjoy Endgame. If I don't see you, enjoy Endgame, and yeah, just appreciate and just take in and just enjoy it, because it's so special. How this whole thing has come together, how every individual character has some relation to something else. It's amazing. It's amazing, and it will be amazing when we see Endgame. And we'll be back with the Good Bit podcast. This is a wee sort of spoiler. This is for you people who are still watching. You can know this. The return of the Good Bit podcast will be in a matter of weeks, 2 weeks, I think. And it will be all about Endgame. That'll be the return episode of the podcast, all about Endgame. It's going to be very exciting, to say the least. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. Please follow me on Twitter at Cm42TV. That would be lovely. And you also subscribe to the channel, share the video, comment, like, do whatever you got to do to please enjoy your life, enjoy the video, and enjoy Avengers when it comes out this week/weekend. Thanks very much for watching. Take care of yourselves. Peace.